What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Welcome, 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 welcome. Still a nation, everybody who is tuning in and watching. Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and it is brought to you live from the Still Basement. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing better than you were doing Sunday. And maybe, hopefully, the Steelers can find a way. I don't know. It is tough. And we're going to talk about it. Let me start my timer. Because, again, there's no need for me to spend so much time. I can do all of this in an hour or less. I'm pretty sure of it. Boom. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's say hello to the early commenters. We'll start right there. Welcome, welcome, welcome to King Guru. What up, what up? Jersey Boy 70, Jim Iman, Lee Sharp, Joshua Shields, Dietrich Bundick, Tony Barnes. What's going on, Tony? Yeah, man, new era has begun, and we're going to talk about it. Ali Howard, Daredevil, hello, Sade, Miss Sade. What's going on, Sade? Good to see you, good to hear from you. Everyone in the chat, fellas, make sure you say hello to Sade, lovely lady of Still a Nation. We always treat our ladies well over here. Vista Light, my boy Kenyon. Ain't like I gotta say what up to Kenyon. We done talked all day, but what up, homie? Mr. Fleetwood, Jeremy Johnson. Hello, Lanisha. And also the real Missy. Hello. Two more lovely ladies of our Steeler fan base. We love them. Make sure you say hello to each and every one of them. Again, take care of our ladies over here. Sippy Boy, father-in-law Leonard Langley. I was just over at Leonard's house. As you can see, I got a little raindrop right there on my shoulder. We was just over there having a good time, man, eating some chili. My mother-in-law, I don't know if Leonard is still sitting right there beside her, but hello, mother-in-law. Thank you for the dinner. Love you like always. Appreciate it. Who else we got in here, man? Oh, a.k.a. Baby Steeler. Hello, Angie. Hello, another lovely lady of the chat. Make sure you guys say hello. Again, make sure you say hello to all of the lovely ladies. Make sure they always feel welcome. Barbara Bill. Who else? Debbie. What is going on, Miss Debbie? Again, y'all already know. Another lovely lady of the chat, man. I like to call Debbie the ringleader of Steeler Nation for the ladies. What's going on, Debbie? Debbie, I saw your email. I read through it when it came. You know how it is. I saw it on the phone. I was doing something. I read through it, but I'm going to actually reply back to it. You had a lot of good points in there. But I guess the question, the root of the answer to your question is sometimes, I don't always see what's going on over here in the chat, like especially when I'm, looking right at you guys, virtually. I don't always see what's happening in the chat, but yeah, I'm definitely going to respond to that. I love the emails. Debbie writes very thorough emails, and I love it. It's always a good read and packed full of good information, so I appreciate that. And my brother Tony in the building as well. What up, Tony? So, all right, man. And Tony Carson. What's up to Tony Carson? Look at that, 3 Tonys. Tony Barnes, my brother Tony, and then Tony Carson. All right, man, let's get to it. We're not going to be, y'all know how it is, man. In and out. And especially when we get the phone calls in, if there are any phone calls. Looks like there's already one in the queue, so, there you have it. So the first thing we'll talk about, primarily what we're going to get into, as an overview, is I really just want to talk about, of course, reflections of last week, against the Jets. Preparing for the Bills. Yeah, that's going to be a very short. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, but I think it's going to be very obvious. Thoughts from Tomlin. That's always going to be something we talk about. What did I gain from his press conference on Tuesday? And then the biggest issues with the Steelers right now. Those would be, some of the loose topics, but the biggest topic, I didn't even write it in the description, but obviously it's a topic because it's the title. How would you rate Kenny Pickett's debut against the Jets? So we'll get into that. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, if you caught me for the first time on the post-game show, that is supposed to be just my knee-jerk reaction. Your typical fan. You just going off on what you thought you saw. I tend to document things maybe more than the average viewer, but it's still knee-jerk reactions. Turbo Towel Tuesday is more reflecting on that a little bit more after rewatching the game, after getting the all 22. I did get it today, but I haven't had a chance to dive into it yet. You guys who are members of the channel, I'm aiming to shoot, I'm shooting for getting that out to you guys tomorrow. So hopefully that gets out tomorrow and we can see what happened. I already saw some things that's, just a little cringeworthy, but we shall get into it. But all right, let's start off with the first topic. Let me see where I want to go first. I guess we'll talk a little bit about, what we learned from Tomlin, and we'll talk about a couple things here that we definitely need to keep our eyes on. I talked about it post-game, the injuries. Tomlin came out and said Ahkello Witherspoon could probably be classified as out again already. That is major, right? I get it. Ahkello Witherspoon wasn't the greatest against Amari Cooper. I understand that. But him being on the field allows other guys to be in different areas or positions on the field, as well as it keeps some guys off the field. We'll get into that in a moment. But that's significant. Edmonds is in a concussion protocol. Minka Fitzpatrick is dealing with a knee. Something to watch. I forgot what Cam Hayward is dealing with. If some of you guys could tell me in the chat. Actually, I'll sit here for a moment, man, and what I would do is let you guys answer that so we can be, precise. But I meant to write it down, and I completely forgot exactly what he said Cam Hayward was dealing with. Shout outs, man, to Carmichael the Guru. He has been a member of the channel, as it says there, 3 months. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for your support in that regard. If anyone can answer that really quick, I won't waste too much time, but if anyone can answer that, what did they say again Cam was dealing with? Now, Cam Sutton is dealing with an elbow. I know Cam Sutton is dealing with an elbow and an ankle, but I'm talking about Cam Hayward, Big Cam. Anytime you hear me say Big Cam, or if you hear me just say Cam, I'm talking about Hayward. I don't call Cam Sutton just Cam. Cam Hayward has earned the one name recognition. You know what I mean? No, elbow and ankle is Cam Sutton, I believe, guys. Arm injury. Thank you, Tony. Oh, and then Steelers card says ankle or knee. Okay, maybe I'm wrong then. You guys might be right. Okay, so thank you, Kenyon, and whoever else said that earlier. A couple of you guys said ankle and elbow, so thank you. I was wrong. So appreciate y'all correcting me on that. See, guys, there's no egos around here. I hope you guys realize that. So yeah, they said Cam Hayward is dealing with elbow and ankle, and Cam Sutton is dealing with the hamstring and groin. Okay, so there you have it. Again, thank you all for correcting me on that. Thank you, Sade, for being an extended family member. Looks like she's joined again. It's a monthly thing, guys. So I'm always appreciative who hangs on and who rejoins. I mean, you guys have no idea how much that means. It means I'm earning your attention. I really appreciate that. So that's the injuries. That's what we're dealing with so far. And these are significant. Of course, Tomlin always says, you will let participation be the guide. He kind of said that about Minka and Cam and, both Cams for the most part. He said it might, his normal spiel of they may be limited in as far as early preparation, but we'll see what happens, come game time. But we need to keep an eye on that, man, honestly. Just imagine if any of these guys are out. As much as y'all talk about Edmonds, and some of you guys don't like him, but okay. Just imagine if he is out. And it's Trey Norwood playing strong safety the entire game. I don't know if he can do some of the physical things that we get from Edmonds. Trey Norwood is probably better, can play maybe pass and things like that better. I think we've seen that out of him. But what about run support? What about blitzing and things like that? I wouldn't go as far as saying that he's going to bring that physical element or the tackling the way Edmonds does. So you're losing something there. If Minka is out, you already know what you're losing. I don't even need to go into that. If Cam Hayward is out, you know what you're losing. Even though Cam Hayward has been a little quiet, hasn't been as impactful He's still doing certain things, but, Cam's name hasn't jumped out as much in these first few games. So, it's something to keep an eye on. He is getting older, you know what I mean? So, that's not a shot at Cam, but, Father Time catches up to everybody. You have to pay attention to these things when guys are plus 30 and playing in those type of positions. And then Cam Sutton. Now, I think we saw the ramifications of Cam Sutton not being in the slot, with Fakello being out. So imagine if Sutton can't go. And now that's going to cause somebody else to get playing time, along with Millette. See? Could get a little dicey. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of the things Tomlin talked about, man. And I'm going to skip around here as I kind of notated them. Tomlin did confirm that Kenny Pickett, excuse me, I didn't even bring no water with me downstairs. Silly me, right? I do have water here in my, we have sort of a closet pantry-esque type thing down here in the basement. There's hot water over there, but I don't know if I want to deal with that. I like cold water. But of course, if I get too choked up, then y'all will see me in real time. Say, excuse me for a moment. I'll run over there. But anyway, he confirmed that Kenny Pickett will be the starter. So start of the new era is definitely in effect. And, how I feel about this largely, man, I know some people are feeling a certain way. Everyone's opinion is different. So I'm not here to disagree. I could disagree, but I'm not here to battle or, dispute or debate someone's opinion. Some of you guys prefer Mitch to be in there. Let him continue playing. Some people wish we never would have picked Kenny Pickett. Some people even saying they'd rather see Mason. I mean, opinions vary, but I will say this. I have zero problem. Okay, let me repeat that. Zero problem with Kenny Pickett taking over and being at the helm right now. I already told you guys where I thought Kenny Pickett is currently better than Mitchell Trubisky. And again, no disrespect to Mitch. I think Mitch has played better than I expected, right? Mitch has been Mitch. He's been a little inconsistent with his throws, but Mitch has made some money throws as well. The biggest problem that Mitch Trubisky has is, we've talked about it for several weeks, Mitch seems to lock in on his targets. It's almost like he knows where he's going and is predetermined. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of quarterbacks in theory do that. You know who your number one read is. But the good quarterbacks, it's a split-second decision. They pan to the left, pan to the right, pan in the middle, and if they see that number one read getting taken away, like they immediately can see where the play is developing based on the defense, they come off of it, and they start scanning the field, right? So that's the difference, because I don't want people to think that, oh, well, some quarterbacks, they don't look at their target. No, everyone has a primary. So there's a call that's for Deontay Johnson. There's a call that's for Claypool. There's a call that's probably for Pickens. There's calls that's for Freiermuth. Everyone has a number one read. Even guys like Mahomes, which this dude continues every week to do something incredible. They all have their number one read, but then how fast are you able to process what's going on when that read isn't there? Are you a quarterback that stays on that and just holds and holds and holds? Or do you scan the field? Trubisky has a problem with scanning the field. There's footage out there. I've showed footage in the All-22, how he doesn't look at other areas of the field. Sometimes if he's going here, he's going there. Tyler Wise, I think of Steelers Depot, posted earlier today. And shout outs to Big Brother Floyd who sent that to me. I had seen it, but I appreciate, Floyd sending that to me in case I didn't see it. I think Alex Gazor might have pointed it out, but I know Tyler Wise posted it. There's a side-by-side showing plays with Mitch and Kenny, and just showing you clearly how Mitch is not seeing the field the way Kenny Pickett does. The second thing that I have been saying that I felt that Kenny Pickett was better than Mitchell Trubisky was anticipation. I think all of us should be able to say that. Again, it doesn't matter if you like Kenny Pickett or not. At this point, we're judging these quarterbacks that are on the roster. To me, it does no good to be talking about, oh, well, we shouldn't have did, we should get this guy. That don't matter now. The quarterbacks on your team today, if you're still a fan, is Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph. So let's assess those guys. So that's my point. Those two, I felt like Kenny was better than Mitch in those areas. And we saw another anticipation throw thought Kenny Pickett again with pressure in his face, find and fry a move just like he did in the preseason. Do I have no problem with Kenny playing? Why not? And of course he's going to start this week. You're not going to go back. I didn't feel like that was a knee-jerk reaction, even though Tomlin said he was just trying to get a spark. Okay, but I didn't think that there was a chance of them going back to Mitch. Excuse me. I didn't think that. Some people thought that was going to happen. No. When Kenny gets, handed over the keys, he's getting the keys. And I figured he would be the starter. So let's keep it going, man. What else did Tomlin say? He said that Mitch's performance was part of it, but not the only part. Okay. He said that they were looking for Kenny to provide a spark. And in my opinion, I wrote this. These are my own words. I said, and he did. And he did. I'll talk about that a little later. He also said he acknowledged that what I just said. He acknowledged, and this was Tomlin's words, that Kenny Pickett has pro-like anticipation. Guys, like I tell you, man, we're just fans. We're not the head coaches. We're not the players. But doesn't it feel good? And again, not from an egotistical standpoint, but doesn't it feel good when you make an assessment and then it's confirmed by the player and or coach and or both? Y'all been hearing me say this, and y'all are my witness. I have said this for the last 3 weeks now. I think Kenny Pickett is better than Mitch with anticipation. And to hear Tomlin say that, it just goes to show you that, yes, the stuff that we see and we think we the only ones that see it, the coaches see it too. So, no complaints with Kenny Pickett being at the helm now. And now let's just enjoy the ride, man. I told y'all. I have zero expectations for this season. Oh, is this going to be Tomlin's first losing season? Could very well be. In my opinion, so what? Because I don't think that this team is winning the Super Bowl anyway. I'm more into now just watching this thing play out, watching these young guns get better and better, seeing how they come into it next season and maybe the next season. We could be watching something birthing right now. And the Steelers could end up being good in the next year or two, right? I'm not expecting this season to be that with all of the change. Now, if it turns out that Kenny Pickett gets in there and he starts balling, the offense putting up some points, they helping the defense because the defense can't hold the entire game, great. But am I anticipating that? No. I'm just being realistic. Tomlin also said something else that was obvious, and it was very obvious. I said it Sunday. That was a knee-jerk. This is a knee-jerk reaction that I had, and I was correct. And a lot of you guys were correct. Possession downs killed the Steelers in fourth quarter, excuse me. Those possession downs killed us. Killed us. Defense failed us at a time when we just couldn't, we couldn't allow them to fail us at that time, and they failed us at the wrong time. Possession downs killed us. Tomlin mentioned that they were challenged a bit by the personnel they had available to them in those moments, which, again, Tomlin likes to always say, no excuses, next man up, yada, 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 but you cannot not acknowledge that the personnel that was on the field due to injuries in some of them situations definitely played a factor. Arthur Marlette is one of them, I might say, and I'm going to get to it. But, you don't make excuses, obviously, but come on. Definitely played a factor. But I do have a little bone to pick with the coaches. I'm going to show you guys in a moment. He also mentioned guys like Josh Jackson, James Pierre. A lot of these guys that are on the practice squad will get a chance to compete and see who gives us the best chance. Okay, that's cool. Not mad at that. I don't know how much they can show during the week, but hey, I'm cool with it because let me tell you, again, I think the lack of Witherspoon being out there hurt what we wanted to do in terms of a nickel package situation at cornerback during passing downs. But also, let's be honest, Witherspoon also got it handed to him against Cleveland. So I'm in favor of any cornerbacks out there and showing their value and their worth. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it being a carousel until we find a group who's solidifying things. So, like they say, one man's misfortune is another man's treasure. We'll see. Let's see if Pierre or Jackson can play well enough to, get some playing time and maybe potentially help us. Said the same thing about the safety position. So he's kind of alluding to the fact that, with Edmonds being down, all of the safeties on the current roster will play or get a chance to show what they're worth during practice. So we'll see. We'll let those chips fall where they may. He also obviously explained that he's not happy with Gunnar O. I'm so glad someone finally asked that question in the press conference, because it seemed like they weren't going to ask it, and then finally someone did near the end of it. And y'all know how Tomlin has traditionally been in the past. And, maybe you can add Danny Smith in that as well. Usually when guys put the ball on the ground in the punt game, you don't see them again. Gunnar has done it twice in 4 games. That is horrible. I would not be surprised if we see a guy like Steven Sims get a shot. Because Gunnar hasn't really been too effective or hasn't really been in the game much as a receiver. I think what he's done in the amount of time that he's played in that capacity, Steven Sims can do that. So we might see a change there. Also, we did hear that this week starts the process of Calvin Austin starting that 21-day window where he's eligible to, start working out and getting himself back in position to return. I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to play out as well. Like I said, regardless of where the Steelers are as far as the season and the record, I want to see some of these young guys, some of the future play, so we know what they are or what potential they have. So I am dying to see Calvin Austin in action, to see what he may be able to bring to this offense. A couple stats that I heard, man. Again, shout outs to Steelers Depot. Listening to one of their podcasts. I can't remember if it was the podcast or if it was the live stream that they did on yesterday. But I'm going to give you guys a stat that is staggering. They say through 4 games. Whoa, I got a donation. Sorry, see, I didn't see it at first, but I see it now. Round of applause to my man, Luis D. Appreciate that. Oh, wrong button. Round of applause, Luis. He says, when you talked about Mitch winning the starting job, he didn't really win it convincingly, so no surprise him being benched. Can Calvin A win starting punt returner? Yeah, I think both of those points are valid. Yeah, I don't think Mitch won it outright. I think, and I remember saying as much, in week 1, I think Mitch just didn't lose the job. I think what Mitch Trubisky did is he showed the Steelers that he could potentially be the gap and buy them time until Kenny is quote unquote ready. And when I say that, it depends on when the coaches feel comfortable with playing him. It's not always, I know that word gets tossed around a lot. Oh, is he ready to play? I think it's more so when the coaching staff is ready to allow said player to take over. And I think Trubisky is exactly what they were looking for. Give us this bridge. Can we win a couple games or 2 while you're out there? Can you play well enough to not outright lose the number 1 job, QB1? And when we think it's time to make the switch, we're going to do it. And that's pretty much what happened. Now, I know some people are saying it's too soon what are we waiting for? Like I said, the coaching staff, particularly Tomlin, he can't get credit for anything. Because for as many people that was saying that he was dumb for not playing him, I see just as many people saying that was dumb to put him in at halftime. I'm like, wow. The man can't, again, this has nothing to do with my opinion about him. I'm just saying it's funny to see how you just can't please everybody regardless of what you do. So I feel like regardless of what you do in life, whether it's on your job or just how you live your life for, do what you feel is the right thing to do. Don't worry about somebody else's opinion. Just do what you do, just like me, and I hate talking in third person, but like how I sit up here and do this show, I give my thoughts, and I do not care what type of criticism is going to come, and some people probably hate the show, and some people probably say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care. I'm still going to sit here and say how I feel. How you feel doesn't affect the way I feel whatsoever. So I'm sure that's what the coaching staff does as well, because again, it's never the right thing to do. It's always criticism that's found in any decision. That's just hilarious to me, as far as, now people saying, oh, Kenny shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't have played at halftime. I'm like, clearly he gave us a spark. I mean, were y'all watching the same game? I don't know. But yeah, what else I got here? So the staggering stat, man. Steelers Depot reported, shout outs to Dave Bryant. In 4 games, the Steelers only have 10 explosive plays. 0 plays or 0 40-yard completions. And 0 20-yard runs so far. Let me repeat that again, and I hope it sinks in. Only 10 explosive plays through 4 games. 0 completions of 40 or more yards. 0 runs of 20 yards or more. Through 4 games. That's not good. But I want you guys to remember that stat, because it's going to help drive a point that I'm going to make later. What else? Steelers defense. I noticed this as well. The Steelers defense they absolutely did not blitz. Not one time in the fourth quarter. Like I said, I got a bone to pick with the coaches, man, and I'm going to show it to you guys here in a moment. I have a bone to pick with the coaching staff here in a moment. But 0 blitzing in the fourth quarter, again, when you're not generating any pressure. The Steelers defense was generating pressure early in the game, but they faded. And this has been a problem, man. We've seen this year after year. And again, Tomlin might be in on this, so he's got to carry some of this blame. It seems like at times we just stick to what we know too much. Right? I mean, and you heard the stories. You've heard from Joe Hayden in the past and other guys saying, oh, you remember some of them games where we won? There's like, oh, Tomlin it was like we were in the playground. He drew it up on the sideline. We tried it. It worked. If that's the case, Coach T, I need you to do that more, because a lot of times it seems like we stick to our guns and we stick to what we know way too much. Way too much. And then it blows up in our face. I'm going to show you guys in a moment. Also, Minkah Fitzpatrick was quoted as saying he felt like we kind of got out-schemed late in the game. There's got to be some truth to that. Oh, let me move myself here. Y'all see me moving on the screen. Let me show y'all a little bit of what I'm talking about. I didn't have this ready to go, but I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to put it on the screen, and, bear with me while I adjust it, but I want to show y'all something. Let me find it. Give me a second. Let me find it, man. I'm going to show you guys something that kind of goes along with what I'm saying. Where is it? Where is it? All right, here we go. All right, you guys are probably seeing this, and not seeing me. Oh, what happened to it? Where'd it go? Hold on. Hold on. There we go. You guys are seeing this picture. This is the last touchdown by the Jets. And yes, why Diggy is correct. It probably was a personnel thing. You're absolutely correct. I'm sure it was a reason for it, but even if what I'm saying is an overreaction, it is just making a bigger point for all of us. Sometimes we just don't know the situation. It's just speculation. But this right here, is something we need to do better. This is the last touchdown by the Jets. What I want you guys to pay attention to, this is 11 personnel. There are 3 receivers. 2 here in a very condensed split. You got 1 coming here across the formation. And you probably can't see my cursor in the video, but you see the guy down there, like down near the end. Clearly he was in motion. Got the running back there. The two guys at the top that are off the line of scrimmage, those are eligible receivers. And the guy on the far left with his hand to the ground is a tight end. This is 11 personnel. But look at what the Steelers are trying to do. They're trying to match that personnel. We're in nickel. We're in nickel on the 2-yard line. 3-yard line, maybe that is. I get it, but this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you can't go with the conventional wisdom. Not when they lined up tight like that. Man, take your chances and go with a bigger lineup. Remember all them times in the game, I talked about this Sunday, that we saw Spillane, Bush, and Jack out there? Maybe this might have been the time to do it. All right, let me show y'all the other angle. And confirm in the comments, you guys are seeing this image, right? Confirm that you guys are seeing it. I'm going to switch it to another angle. Look at this one. This is the same play. Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see all of the beef the Jets have right there? Look how we are aligned. You should be able to run on this all day. Come on, man. Come on, man. And it's funny because my man Alex Kazor pointed this out, if I'm not mistaken, earlier today as well. But this is something that has been happening routinely. Not just this season. This is bad. This is bad. Again, I understand what's happening here because, again, it seems like that Austin and Tomlin, I'm going to say Tomlin too because I know Tomlin is, he has his hand in the defense. So, again, this should be proof to some of y'all who think I don't give him no criticism. I do. This to me feels like conventional wisdom, like, oh, they in 11, let's put out our nickel, our sub. No. Sometimes you got to take your chances. Remember all of them times in the past when we used to get on Keith Butler for having linebackers cover, wide receivers. And the reason why that used to happen is we used to sometimes come out in base or something like that, and the team is in 11. And then we're uneven as far as matching the personnel. Well, guess what? This is the time, Austin, Tomlin, I would prefer to have a linebacker potentially get caught in a situation here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just, and again, can I outright say what's the right answer here? No, but it's painful when it's a pattern. That's when it's painful. If this only happened every now and then, you roll the dice, you roll the wrong dice, you crap out, fine. But other times you win, great. But when this becomes a pattern, when it's a pattern and we're consistently doing it, don't you think the other offenses and the coordinators know that? And again, might I remind you, I can take this off the screen now. Minka Fitzpatrick said he felt like we got out-schemed. Coach T, Terrell Austin, B-Flow, whoever is in it has a hand in calling that defense. Come on, man. Come on. This cannot be repetitive. We just talked about Matt Canada, right? We've talked about Matt Canada the last couple of weeks. And again, shout outs to Alex Kazor. I love those guys at Steeler Depot because they have time. This is what they do all day. They do all of that research. Remember Alex Kazor put the report out there talking about how Canada consistently runs the same type of scheme or concept against certain situations and certain down and distance, and it's repetitive, whereas sure enough looks like that's also happening on the defensive side of the ball. And if that is the case, I'm pointing the finger at every single coach on that staff, including my man Mike T. None of them are void of criticism, bro. And they always gonna get that from me because I am unbiased when it comes to giving feedback, constructive criticism, or if I gotta give you straight out, like, yo, that was stupid. I'm gonna do it. Gotta do better. Let's do a quick round of applause, man, for the donation from my man Brent Fox. And I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I might be cutting y'all a little bit short on the phone calls tonight. I apologize. I'm going to get to it in just a moment. And let me say this too before I answer or read Brent's comment. I see a lot of people, and I see somebody in the comments saying it now. All Sunday and leading up to the day, I keep seeing people say, by the Jets. We got out-schemed by the Jets. How could we lose by the Jets? How could we? It's an NFL team. Get off your high horse, Steeler Nation. I'm in that nation, and I'm saying that. Get off your high horse. Stop acting like the Steelers are the best team in the world. We are not. We are not the dog anymore. We are clearly rebuilding and trying to reboot. We're not the same Steelers. I know it's hard to accept that. But we got to stop walking tall and acting like how we lose to them. Because we ain't that good right now. Our players are not executing that well. Sometimes we're not calling the right plays. As you can see, sometimes the coaches maybe not be putting us in the right situation. And I'm not just picking on our coaching staff. This happens by many teams. Sometimes the best teams lose a Sunday. They get out-coached or whatever you want to call it. Get off your high horse. It's what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. Any team in the NFL is capable of winning a football game. My man Brent says, Sim, don't know if you went over this, but your thoughts on Mitch still being captain. I don't have a big issue with that. I think it's a respect thing. I mean, you know, you add insult to injury if you take that away from him too. Kenny can't be captain right now. So these were the guys who were elected captain early. So, you know what I mean? I have no beef with that. Him remaining the captain. I have no beef with that. But thank you, my man, for the donation. Really appreciate that. Let's get back to it. I like what my man Lagoon Tours just said. Yeah, it's just the truth, man. We at the bottom of the basement in the North, and that we supposed to be right now the way we've been playing. But the funny thing is, honestly, and not being biased, we could be at the top. 2 games we should have won. Jets, Patriots. What does that make us? What does that make us? What's the record if we win those games? We beat Cincinnati, barely. But what does that make us? You want to say the Browns played us better, and okay, I'll give them that. Could have won that too. But we definitely should have won the Patriots game and the Jets game. Jets game goes without saying. At the very worst, we're 2-2. But we're not. We're 1-3. Feel that sting. Feel the stench. But let me get to my root of my thoughts, man. And guys, like I said, I'm sorry, man. I'm chumping you guys on the phone calls tonight. I really apologize, but I got a lot to say, man. And when we get to the calls, we'll just have to keep them really quick. Final thoughts. I'll be quick. We were compromised by injury. No excuse, but we were. Clearly, Arthur Marlette, and listen, channel members, when I show y'all that all 22, he just can't cover. He just can't cover. Period. Man, my man Garrett Wilson was frying him, dog. He's just not good in coverage. We know that. I think the coaching staff knows that. How do they know that? Who usually plays in the nickel and passing downs? Sutton. We've also seen them rotate. Where in earlier downs, when they're expecting to run, they have Marlette in there for more run support. When downs they're expecting to pass, it's Sutton. When we have Witherspoon. So Witherspoon being out again, regardless of how you feel about him being out is the reason why we didn't have Cam Sutton in the slot. and even how you feel about him. But I say he plays better than Millette. Killed us. TJ Watt not being out there. Yeah, hurt big time. Like I said, getting pressure early in the game, and the way we were getting pressure, just imagine if TJ was out there. Probably a few more sacks in that game. Might have changed the tide of that game. You never know. Especially late, especially in the fourth quarter. I'm sure that motor would have been running along with Highsmith. I'm sure we would have been able to rotate Highsmith and Malik Reed and Watt, so guys would have been a little more fresh down the stretch. But it's no excuse. It's the NFL. You still had a 10-point lead. So here's another thought. I still stick to what I said. Why are the Steelers 1-3? Not enough offensive production. I outlined on Sunday how many 3-and-outs we had in that game. But there's no mistake about it. The defense lost this game. If we're going to talk literal, and it's funny, man, because I saw so many people pushing back on me. Sometimes you guys take things so literal and you don't listen to exactly what I'm saying. I said Sunday, yes, literally the defense lost the game because we had a 10-point lead. However, the reason why we're not winning games, and you can even include this one, our offense does not produce enough. We ain't getting no real points till Kenny comes in the game. You see what I'm saying? And by that time, it's too late. Again, not an excuse for the defense. You're not supposed to give up that 10-point lead. But they did. Because, again, we're not a great team right now. Our offense and defense is going to have to work together. I don't feel like right now that either one of them are going to win the game solely. Our defense is decent. They're not great. We have question marks at the corner position. Our linebackers, oh my God, do they bite on play action. I mean, the middle of the field is just there for the taking. And again, some people say that's coaching. I don't know. How do you tell a player stop biting on play action so hard? I think that's instinctive in-game play. I don't think the coach can do anything after the ball goes, hut. Dog, play. It's horrible. Y'all will see it. Y'all will see it. Channel members will see it because I'm showing it. It's just, and then, some of the one-on-one matchups. Like I said, Millette was just getting. So again, man, we have questions at cornerback. Inside backers were overly aggressive. When Spillane is out there, it's just completely ugly. All right, let me get this comment. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Kenny. Then I'll get the phone calls. I'm going to try to get them all in, but as you can see, we got a little bit of time. Round of applause to Lee Sharp. Oh, that's right. You went to the game, okay? Lee Sharp says, had a ball at the game. It was crazy being there for Kenny's first snap. That's dope. That's something you always remember. He is a dog, and the future is bright. TJ is beyond vital to this defense. Defense was too passive at the end. Yes, I appreciate the comment. Man, Bahamas, the middle has been open for 3 years running now. I don't know, man. I don't know what we need to do to fix that. Shout outs to you experiencing the game. If I remember correctly, it was your first game, right? Were you the one that this was your first game? If it was, man, I hope you had a phenomenal time overall, not even just the game itself. But yeah, you're right. Defense just felt like they just ran out, man, and just was passive. And again, without having TJ, it just killed us. But anyway, man, let's talk about the title. How was Kenny Pickett's debut? I'm going to be brief. I think it was pretty good, pretty solid. I don't care, if people disagree with him coming in or whatever. Listen, what you cannot dispute is when Kenny Pickett came in that game, there was some type of energy injected into that offense. Clearly, Kenny Pickett himself scored 2 touchdowns. Kenny Pickett helped the offense to move. Look at some of the little stuff he was doing, scrambling to pick up the first down, getting outside the pocket, finding Fryer move. Things of that nature. Did he make a couple errant throws? He absolutely did. However, upon further review, the first interception to Claypool, you got to catch that. I did say that Kenny Pickett might be able to throw a better ball, but he's throwing cross-body. If he could get it out in front of him, it would have been better. But still, he threw it up, gave Claypool an opportunity to make a play against a small defender. And even when the guy tips it, you're supposed to take the ball from him. Do you guys remember who was that had that catch on us? On Akello. Who was that? Remember the dude just took the ball from him? Was it Aguilar? I think it was Aguilar in the Patriots game. That's what Claypool was supposed to do. You take that ball. That's your ball. So I don't want to hear it. You high point it, take it. Reach down and take it. So that one wasn't as bad. The Freiermuth one, Kenny put it on himself. He said he was trying to, make something happen. He kind of took the blame for it. But honestly, man, it was really just how that whole play unfolded. It's like I felt like he forced it. Some people saying maybe he was trying to throw it out of bounds. I don't know. The way it looked, man, and the more I watched it again and again, it looks like he was trying to hit Freiermuth. It was a little high. He drifted a little bit in the pocket. You just got to be more careful in that situation. We're in field goal range. If we just hold on to the ball, even if we don't get a first down, if you get a field goal there, it probably changes the complexion of the game at that moment. But, he's young. He's anxious. He was out there balling. He probably was like any of the rest of us. I'm going to make this happen. I'm putting this on my back. And he got a little bit ahead of himself. Outside of that, though, man, you cannot say he played bad. You can't say that third interception really meant anything. I was surprised he threw the ball that far. But I think Kenny Pickett played great enough for us to see what this future could possibly be. And it's interesting hearing guys like Deontay Johnson talking about how much life it gave the offense. I don't know if they got anything against Mitch. Personally, I just think on the field, they recognize that he doesn't always look where he needs to look. Deontay can't say that because he always looked for Deontay. But remember the reaction by George Pickens when, that one play when he goes off when, Mitch doesn't even look his way. So him even saying the offense just felt like they had some life. He acknowledged his swagger. I think we can see that. Kenny's a dog. You can see that in him. And I think, it's his time. I think he had a great debut. It's unfortunate that he has a couple interceptions to boot because, like I said, I think realistically, only one of them was really on him. I know some people are going to say, oh, Mufa's got to catch that. I'm always the guy saying if you get your hands on it, but that ball was high. It was a forced throw. It was high, and there you have it. Claypool, that ball should have been caught. And notice even after it gets picked, he's looking around like, gee, George, oh, what happened? What happened is you didn't catch the ball. But yeah, man, that's all I got. As far as, I just think the way that game played out, offense got going way too late. It did not move with Mitch. Did not execute well with Mitch. No disrespect. I think Mitch didn't play horrible. He just, Kenny came in and injected a little more life. You saw a couple more different play calls. You saw an RPO that included the quarterback. He, put his head down and he got touchdowns. He converted a 4th and 1. Quarterbacks, he brought life to it. And the defense just fell apart, man, in the fourth quarter. They just... And again, heads up for you guys who will see the All-22 with me. I'm going right to that fourth quarter. We're looking at that. I'll show you a couple plays for early, but primarily I'm focusing on how we defended the Jets in the fourth quarter. And that's what we're going to be talking about. But all right, man, let's get to the phone calls. I'm sorry, I only gave you 12 minutes. There's 5 calls. Do me a favor. Quick in and out, man. It's going to be like that some nights. My bad. I just had a lot to say tonight. First up, area code 951. What you got for us?
Hey, Tim. Thanks for taking my call, man. This is Pittsburgh out of Cali.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, gotta make it quick. I know the Steeler Nation and a lot of the commentary people on the Sports Nation is saying the Steelers and Tomlin's going to get their first losing season. So I just wanted to say, man, I think Steeler fans, we made a change at quarterback, man, and, obviously I think it was for the better, for the future. But I honestly do think, with Kenny at the realm, man. I mean, he's gonna make his rookie mistakes. We got to give him that. You know, that's obvious with the interceptions and stuff like that. Hopefully, he can keep it to a low. But hopefully, man, they can scheme up some plays, man, where he's. It seems like so far he can get the ball to the receivers, man, if they catch the ball, i.e. Chase Claypool. But with Calvin Austin possibly coming back, that's a plus for us for sure. With DeMonte, Kazi coming back in a couple weeks, I think it is, or a few weeks, that's a plus, man. So I just think Steelers need to hold on tight, man. And I know it's not looking like we're going to win the ring again, but it ain't time to give up, man. I just think there's so much optimism, man, with Kenny at quarterback. I think there is definitely a spark in the offense the last game, and I think if he can get the ball out there to the receivers, man, the running game keep going, and we put it on the defense, if they can get healthy, man, we'll be good. That's all I got, man. Thanks.
Man, appreciate the call. And you know what? It's funny. You reminded me of something. I forgot. Casey. We can't forget Casey. Might be getting back, and we'll see, man. But like I said, I would not expect much out of this team this year, man. Like I said, man, I know it's tough, but let's enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy the ride, and we shall see. Appreciate the call. Next up, area code 803. I believe that's our guy, Mr. Winningham. Mr. Winningham, what you got for us?
Yo, what up, Sim?
Oh, my bad, 859. I'm coming right back to you. I hit the wrong button. My bad. 803, Mr. Winningham, what you got for us?
Hey, how you doing? I felt everything was based on timing. I felt that, I was glad to see Kenny come in the game. But after the Cleveland game, it would have been better if Coach Tomlin and the staff would have prepared him all week compared to coming off the bench hot. But he gave us a big shot in the arm. I do feel sorry for Mitch Trubisky because I felt that, he came in to Pittsburgh with the right attitude and everything, but once again, it hadn't worked out. And it's a crapshoot looking for these quarterbacks in the draft because look at all the failures. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I mean, there's a lot of failures in the draft with these quarterbacks. So I hope that we are able to use that same formula that we used with Big Ben, 21 to 25 passes a game. This time we need to run more in the fourth quarter. We ran the ball pretty good this game, but we didn't run very much in the fourth. Thank you so much. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you so much as well, Mr. Winningham. Yeah, man, as far as Kenny, I agree with that. If he would have been prepared to play. But honestly, like I said, I think maybe what it would have done, I think saying that the question would have been, what if Kenny started? I think that's fair. Because I don't believe the Steelers went into this thinking they were going to replace Mitch. You know what I mean? So it's easy for us to say that. And not saying that, what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying in theory, because a lot of people were saying that after the game. Oh, man, if he would have got more reps. But Kenny didn't play bad. So I don't even know why some people were saying that after the game. It's not like he played bad. Yeah, he had a couple of errant throws, but again, he's a rookie. He's not going to have a perfect game. But I think maybe we'll get to see more life out of the offense earlier with him starting. So we'll see. He's got a test coming this week, I tell you that. All right, right back at you, 859. My bad. What you got for us?
What's good, Sam? This Carmichael, the sports guru, man. I just wanted to say, Kenny, man, it's like watching my little brother succeed, man, because I've been a fan of this dude for a while now, man. So I just want to see the process, because it's going to be a process. Kenny not going to make Pro Bowl this year, so y'all got to chill, you know what I mean? Just watch the man develop on a weekly process, because it's going to be a process. But, yeah, man, I just wanted to say, man, I'm excited to see him grow, man, and push this team, because I know he can. And one thing I heard Tomlin say that he mentioned, like in the T.J. Watt mentioned with the competitiveness, like when he speak competitiveness, when it come to Kenny, like he even used a different phrase than he used averagely than he used for everybody else. Like Tomlin know what's up though. But all right, I'm out, bro.
Man, Carmichael, I appreciate your call like always, man, and appreciate your follow and you being a channel member and all of that. And I'm gonna agree with you there, man. You can hear it, right? Tomlin just speaks differently about him. Saying that, I quote him. He said, he felt the spark was there even before playing. Like his personality or his presence has brought that to the team. And you can see it. I mean, you can see this guy. I don't know, man. Like I said, some people don't like him or didn't like him coming out of college. But from what he is showing me, that moxie, not comparing them play style wise, but you remember, guys, what I was saying about what I like about Justin Herbert's demeanor and personality? Kenny is showing me that. I'm all for it. And I'm with Carmichael. For this particular season, I'm all for just letting this dude get in there and play good, play bad, go through his lumps, get it all out. And we might have something. We'll see. It's still TBD, but I'm going to enjoy watching this season, man, however it turns out. Next up, area code 651. What you got for us?
What's up, Steve?
What's going on?
Not much, man. So I called in last week, and I said at halftime, if Mitch is not playing right, it's time for Pickett. If I'm Tomlin, and he did just that.
You did.
And I got to admit, the boy played exactly how I felt he would. He played just like I said in the Jacksonville preseason game. You saw what the season was going to look like with the first half with Mitch, and then the half with Kenny. And you saw how he moved the ball. It's the same thing. Not to mention, he was 10 for 13, and those 3 incompletes were basically those interceptions. The Hail Mary, the one tip pass, and one drop, right? So he was perfect. Really, if you really look at it, he was pretty much perfect if not for those 3 throws. So, like I said, he got it. Man. But I also mentioned a few weeks ago about Josh Jackson when he came onto the roster. I said, watch him. And he was on the 53 this past week. This week, you got a shot to play, so I'm looking forward to see that guy, man. I think we might have something with him, but I'm not going to stay too long, but thanks a lot, man.
Man, thanks for the call, man, and I'm going to give you a shout-out, 651, because you sure enough said it. you did, and you said halftime at that, and you sure enough called Josh Jackson, and I'll say that to the chat. I want everybody to start remembering some of our, familiar callers and, remember some of the stuff that they say, because I want to give them their flowers. He sure enough said it. And again, like I said, I just thought it was funny how people speculated so hard to say that Tomlin would never. And I think he pulled one out of his hat and tricked everybody. And I'm glad he did it. Because now the quarterback controversy conversation is over. There's no more when is he going to play. Now the boy is playing and he about to be put in the fire. Can't even say the word appropriately. The fire. He about to be put in the fire. Let's see what he got, man. Next up, area code 412. That's a Pittsburgh or at least a Pittsburgh area number. So we appreciate that. What you got for us?
What's up, Sim? It's Smitty back in the United States.
Oh, man. Welcome home, brother.
Yeah. For the last 3 weeks, I've been a struggle watching the Steelers game. I was watching it, trying to get to Europe. When they facing the Patriots, they lost. Trying to watch it on my phone Thursday night, 2 a.m, and they lost. And coming back, the last play I seen before I took off from Philly back to Pittsburgh was Kenny throw that interception. I was trying to think, could our defense hold them or not? As soon as I land, I seen that score, like, God damn it, we are a talented bad team.
Right.
We are a talented bad team. You let Zach Wilson drive down in the fourth quarter twice on y'all and score touchdowns. Not even a field goal, touchdowns. But anyway, I thought Kenny did play good and everything. I thought that, the only throw I agree with everybody else is the pat throw that he shouldn't have even made. But I also want to go on some of these Steelers fans rooting for Mike Tomlin to have his first losing season. Like, that's actually going to get him fired.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with these people. Like, that should be. I know people say, I'm sick of hearing that they never had a losing season. First, that's the organization standard. I don't care what Colin Cowherd or anybody says. The fact that you had an aging quarterback for the last 5 years and you were able to at least win 8 to 9 to 11 games, because that's the amount of games he won every year for the past 5 seasons. Nothing less than 8. That's impressive. Now they finally have they might actually have a losing season because nothing's written in stone yet. You want him to lose. So I'm going to challenge. Do you like the Steelers more than you hate Tomlin, or do you hate Tomlin more than you like the Steelers? That's all I need to know. Because, I mean, we all know the other reason why he gets criticized, because people say he hasn't won nothing in years, but look at Andy Reid. So I just want to throw that out there. Like, there's a lot of fake Steelers fans that just want Mike Tomlin fired, and they think that's going to happen after one bad season. This is not Remember the Titans, where you have to go undefeated. So I just want to say that I'm happy. I'm going to see a Steelers game in full in my living room. Maybe it's good luck, because they haven't won since I seen the whole game in Cincinnati. But I had to call in because I'm back in the States. And have a good night. And congratulations on the new house.
Oh, man. Thank you for that. And I got a quick story about that at the end of the show. I'll tell you in a moment. But thank you, Smitty, for calling, man. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you had a great vacation. Sorry you had to go through that agonizing pain of seeing that we're winning and just holding on to a prayer that they'll keep the lead, and you find out that they But I do want to hang on the point that you said really quick about Tomlin. That is crazy. Again, take Tomlin out of it. Who do you love? The team, or do you have hate for a coach or a player? I don't get that either. I want everybody to understand that we can have our complaints. I got on Tomlin tonight. The man is going to be the coach until the Rooney family decides to let him go. The Steelers don't have a history of firing coaches or, coordinators or anything. They let the contracts expire. Last time we checked, Tomlin's contract was extended. So get over it. Like, rooting for him to have a loser, that is the stupidest thing in the world to me. If you don't like his coaching style, great. But it is mighty strange how, again, do we like the team, or do we have a personal beef with the coaching? Silly. But like I said, I'm not going to debate people anymore about their opinions about the coach, man. It's every week. It's every week. But I'm going to go over time a little bit, even though it says time up. I'm going to go over just a little bit. I'm going to get these last 3 calls in. It's 3 of them. So I just got to remind y'all, quick in and out. First one is Area 937. I believe that's our guy, Johnny. What you got for us?
Sam and Steelers Nation, what's up, man? Can you hear me clearly, my brother?
Yes, sir.
Well, everybody, why is he excited? We just had a loss. Well, I get that, but because I can see the future. I can see a couple of fine-tuning points. And, man, this offense can be very potent. We already know what our defense would do. Imagine this. After the bye, TJ comes back. By that time, Kenny's feet are set in real good. You know what I'm saying? After the bye, guys going 5-2. And I ain't got the black and gold glasses on. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. But it's something about the organization. We are resilient. That's why I am a Steeler, because we are resilient people. And we will fight. We will not take. Now, I'm going to stick to the topic as I always like to do, unless there's something really passionate on my heart. And, man, I was pleased with Kenny. That's why I have joy in my heart right now, because I can see the future. Boy, I love that. Oh, my. Great anticipation on the throw, the fire move up the seam while taking a hit in his face, and then he get up and talk trash.
Oh, yeah.
I like that kind of
I
quarterback.
loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, come on, say something, Sam. Huh?
I loved it.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. And smiled at him like, yeah, I still got it off. I still made that throw. Man, that's what I want to see, man. And you know, I didn't realize he was 6'3", 220, if that's accurate, man. That's a pretty big dude, you know. And I like the way he powered through on the goal line, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we got the PDs forwards, man. Real quick, I know I got to be quick. Interceptions, I ain't worried about them interceptions, man, because they were all catchable, in my opinion. You know, we can debate that. I mean, I'll say 2 out of 3. No, 2 out of 3 were good throws, in my opinion. Claypool, man, if I was 6'5", And man, you got to go get that dog. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm gonna finish with? Oh, Gunner, man. I'm sorry, but at the same time, I see what I see, and I just want Gunner out of there, return it, man. I almost feel like he's the enemy in our backfield in a sense. I don't know. It's something weird, man. I don't know. And I say this all the time, real quick. Some players, see, this is why we like to raise our own babies, if you will. You know what I'm saying, man?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we get to free agents, it's only a small percentage that they allow the black and gold to enter their bloodstream. I don't think Gunner has. This is a check to him. There's been many players like that. What's his name? Number 8. He left quickly, the linebacker from last year. He didn't even give it a chance. He left quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be the starter. Oh, forget this. You don't have the black and gold in your blood. But for a recent example, Mr. Miles Jack, I seen it in his eyes. He came here and he was immediately injected with black and gold in his blood. And he accepted it, and he's down. I believe Miles Jack going to be with us for the rest of his career, man. I really believe that. And I'm excited, man. Steelers fans, let's not give up. 1-3. I didn't see us come back for something like this, man, before. I didn't see us. Man, come on. The second half, I'm telling you, we're going to do something. We may be in the conversation. We're going to be in the conversation. And, keep the faith and peace and love. Oh, Sam. Hey, man, we got to figure out how we can get gifts to you, dog, because I got this dope hat. When I seen this hat, bro, I get compliments almost every day when I wear it, man. And I got one for you, brother. But I don't know how to send it to you. We can't be announcing your address, you know what I'm saying, over the air. I mean, keeping it real, so I don't know about that. I don't know what to do with that, man. You had to help me with that, but I want to get it to you, man, because I thought about you, man. And if I didn't tell you, and I'm gone, the post-game show was awesome, man. I was fired up over there, jumping up and down like, yeah. That was a great post-game show, the content, the excitement, the energy. I watched it, brother, of course, and I really enjoyed it. Peace and love, man.
Man, thank you so much, Johnny. Appreciate it. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, y'all, some callers I will let go a little longer because they've become fan favorites. And Johnny is one of them. And yeah, shoot me an email, man. SimFBallCritic, it's abbreviated, SimFBallCritic@gmail.com. And we'll figure that out. I don't mind, sending my address to folks who seem to be stand-up people, and this actually won't be my address much longer. But yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, man, you said a lot there. It's too much for me to recap, but I have excitement in my voice too, because now we get to see the new era, man, and now we can really just watch the young talent develop. And who knows, man? Who knows what might happen? I just have low expectations. But thank you, Johnny, man. Really appreciate that. All right, guys, let's wrap up with the last two calls. It will be area code 864 and area code 318. I see we have a few more calls as well. I just don't have time to get to them. Let me say this real quick while you all are listening. I don't want it to become this, but again, I'm predicting that this show is going to get larger, right? It's going to get to a point where I can't take all the phone calls. It might get to a point where if you want to be pushed up higher in the queue, drop a donation. I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying it might get to that at some point. Other than that, I'm going to always try to go through them all. But, my goal is to not have the show so long. So, and thank you, Johnny, man, for, saying you appreciated the post game. I really appreciate that, man. I'm very humbled, by any compliments that you guys give me. But all right, 864 and then 318. What you got for us, 864?
Hi, Sam, can you hear me, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm going to be very, very brief, bro. I just want to catch a couple of issues here. When is Pittsburgh is going to get out of these zones, man? They are just killing. They getting killed in these zones. And I watched the Reddit. I think it was the last drive or the drive before they scored the touchdown. That they was in zone, and the inside linebackers was covering wide receivers, and the safeties and the corners were setting back as safeties. And I don't get it. And then they get down in the red zone,
they can get when the opponent get down in the red zone, they still are in zones. And I watched Sutton when he was sitting in a zone, and I said before they even play, I said, now watch this. He gonna give a fake to the left. He gonna go right. It's gonna be a touchdown. He bagged up in the end zone. They need to be pressing. They need to be up in them guys' face, man, when they get down in that red zone. You don't need to be in those zones. You're getting killed in the zone. And I don't know why the coaching staff can't see that, man. And one more thing, and I'm gone. Justin Lane, I don't know why they cut that dude. He's tall, he's lanky, and he was beginning to come into his own. Pittsburgh had built this guy up to be, he was going to be a good press corner, and they cut him. I don't understand it. But that's all I got, Sam. Have a good one, bro. Peace.
Man, appreciate the call, and I'll be quick on my responses. I think with guys like Justin Lane, a lot of times I say I don't think some dudes get a fair shake, man. Even from the fans, these guys barely play, and when they get in, we like, oh, that dude sucks. But some of these dudes never get real time to play. I know Justin Lane started playing a little more in dime. He was okay. But yeah, I do still feel like maybe he's a dude that you could have developed as a press corner. I'm also going to agree with you with the zone. There is times in the NFL where you need to run the zone. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to give y'all a early heart attack, but it's going to be the truth. We're going to run a lot of zone against Buffalo. We are. You can't turn your back to Josh Allen. But my thing is, like you said, when you get down in the red area or when you get down less than 6 yards to go, man, I'd rather just get up in a dude's face, bro. That would be my philosophy. Let's go mano a mano. The best man is going to win. Now, what is the dangers that you run into when you play man? Pick routes, rub routes. And that's kind of what happened to Sutton. But here's the catch. I'm going to have to look at that play again because I don't know for sure just off first glance if it was zone or if it was our patented off-man coverage. Because, the receiver, I think it was Davis, he ran like somewhat of a pivot route, went out, cut back in, and he got rubbed off. But he was playing so far back, it probably looked like zone. And it could have been. I haven't studied the play yet. I'll probably do that later tonight. But it still makes your point. When we're in those situations, get up in them dudes' face and let the best man win. You got 5 yards that you can make contact on a receiver. To me, I'm that type of dude. Maybe you don't do it all the time. Maybe you run some trickery and drop back in the zone sometimes. But in those key situations, man, press or get right up in their face. And I've seen good defensive teams in the past, they pass off even man. So if you feel the rub coming, if your guy comes this way, go to him, I'm going to go to him. Teams do that. I need to see the Steelers start doing more creativity in those situations. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But it hurts when you always lose the same way. I am with you all the way, my man. Last call of the night, man. Area code 318. What you got for us?
Whoa, what's up, Bob?
What's going on, brother?
I'm gonna make it quick, man. Just first, I want to just give love, to Tua, because I know he, had that concussion. I had a concussion, just basically get out the way. I know we all fans of love the Steelers, but got to show love to him because that can be a serious injury.
That was bad.
But basically, yeah, for sure. Basically, man, I feel like we need to run the offense through running the ball to Najee, Pat Frymu. Then I feel like that open up the middle. Then bam, we can hit Pickens, Deontay Johnson, yada yada yada, bam. Then defense really is really, I feel like communication, like you said, man. Linebackers biting on the run, and then that right side. When we're missing TJ so bad, it's like it's non-existent, bro. Like really, Alex Highsmith can have about 30 sacks, not 30, but he really should have about 7.5 sacks by now. That's it, bro. Have a good night.
Man, appreciate the call. Have a good night as well. And you're right. It's clear. And it's funny because Highsmith is still eating. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's leading the league in sacks at what, 6.5 or something like that, or 5.5. But it's so painful. And I can take the headphones off now. Like I said, I know there's a couple calls left, man, but I gotta start wrapping up. Sorry about that, man. If you can call a little earlier next week, or like I said, man, again, I speak truth to existence. I feel like the show is gonna grow. It might get to a point, man, where if you want to guarantee I answer, you drop a donation and put your phone number in the chat. Again, it's not a requirement, but we might run into situations like this where I got to leave like 3 calls in the queue or whatever. So, it looks like it might be a call or 2. But so I'm just being honest, guys. I was trying to be open and honest with y'all. But yeah, man, it's without TJ, I think TJ makes a difference in that game just because of the pressure we were getting. So imagine if they had to deal with TJ and Highsmith and Leal, and Ogunjobi at times. Like, just imagine if they was dealing with that pressure that we were generating, at least in the first half into the third, with a 3-man rotation, where TJ can come in fresh at times, insert some of them downs and down and distances and in the fourth quarter. But yeah, man, it's tough situation. But again, man, my final, and I'll come over here in the chat a little bit. I won't go through as many of them because I need to wrap it up. But like I said, man, this is going to be an interesting season to watch. What if Kenny can make some noise, man? I still think our defense can make stops at times. But if we're talking about the Bills, it's going to be tough, bro. Tough and rough. It's going to be tough and rough. The Bills ain't no joke. They have been beaten this year, yes, but they are capable of putting up a lot of points. They have a good defense. They are potent on offense. They have a stud receiver and other complementary options. They have a running back who's capable of making some positive runs. They have Josh Allen, who will take off and run on you, design runs. And the Steelers sometimes have not made tackles. He can break plenty of tackles. Cannot turn your back on him. So the man situation is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Yes. Actually, round of applause to Carmichael. Round of applause. Yes. You are correct. Yes. Guys who are members of the guys and girls who are members of the extended family definitely will, yes, you can get bumped up in the call queue. The only thing I would just need you all to do is, send a chat or something to say, hey, I'm such and such. Hey, I'm area code, da-da-da-da-da. And yeah, so being an extended family member who are people who pay a monthly fee or have paid a monthly service for that particular month can get bumped up. Or if someone donates and say, hey, I really want my call to get in, here's a da-da-da-da-da. But we'll talk about that at a later time. But yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. But who knows, man? Maybe Kenny goes out there and he does enough offensively to help our defense be in better position, not have to always keep it turned on every single series. Because like I said, look at how many 3-and-outs the defense has given, and then look at how many 3-and-outs the offense was putting up. So we're gonna have to find more offense. Looking at this schedule, it's going to be tough. But if I'm being realistic, if we can find a way to score 21 to 24 points, I think we'll be in a lot of these games. I don't feel like we're going to get blown out, but I don't feel comfortable about winning a lot of these games. I don't feel comfortable already going into Buffalo. Oh, people are going to say, well, last year we did it. Well, guess what? That was last year. I don't feel comfortable this season going into Buffalo after that dog fight they just had with the Ravens. Maybe that took something out of them. And I know they're dealing with a couple injuries as well, but yeah, man, we're going to have to get more offense. And what we're really going to have to do with them is develop a running game. I think the offensive line is coming around. They picked the wrong time to give up as many sacks as they did, but the offensive line has gotten better. They didn't have such a good game against the Jets. And again, that makes me a little leery playing the Buffalo Bills. But if we can run the ball relatively decent, if Kenny can sustain drives, then it puts us in a better situation. It's all about ball control. All about ball control. But it's not a game that I expect to win. I'm just being honest. And I'm honest saying this to you guys tonight. It's a game that I might not even get to see in real time because I have to go out of town. I'm going to be, and ironically, I'm going to actually be in New York on Sunday. with my wife and family, and I won't have an opportunity to watch the game unless I can get it on my phone because we're going to be outside. But I'll say that early. So what I probably will try to plan to do is get a pregame show going. Hopefully I may be able to get to that on Friday since I might not be able to do a postgame show. I'm going to take Debbie's advice since I'll be in the car and such. What we're doing, we're going apple picking. It's something her family does, routinely every year on this particular weekend. Maybe I sneak away on the orchard and I'll do a show. I don't know, but I'm going to take Debbie's advice, family first. So I probably won't be able to do a post-game show for this week. But yeah, we'll see. But outside of that, man, I'll give you guys a couple minutes, man, for a few comments last-minute comments y'all want to get in. Walter Worthy says, we can't keep going 3 and out, Mr. Canada. Yeah, Mr. Canada and everyone else involved, man. Didn't happen so much with Mitch, though. With Kenny. Sade says, that's being optimistic and depending on when TJ comes back. Okay, she's probably responding to someone else. Lanisha says, Sippy Boy, Sim has the link to join in the description. Huh? You says Sippy Boy has a... Huh? What you saying, Lanisha? Or are you telling Sippy Boy how to join? There is a link in the description, but also if you're on the stream now, there should be an option for you to join. There's a join button that you all should be seeing. You're probably seeing join or subscribe. Leonard Green says, I sense another L, but we give it maximum effort. Yeah, me too. Ali says, apple picking, that's the thing. Can I get some info? Yeah, man, they've been doing it for years. My wife's family is from New York, mostly the Bronx. She's from the Bronx. Her family's from the Bronx. And they go apple picking in Poughkeepsie, New York. So it's kind of upstate. It ain't Buffalo. But, yeah, we've been doing it since I've known her, even before we were married. So it's a thing. But you had the same reaction as I did the first time she took me. I was like, apple picking? What? I'm like, man, what kind of corny stuff is that? But it was pretty cool, man, because even back then, everybody would come, they bring a football, the guys play. It's a nice family experience, especially with the younger kids. And now most people have grown up now. So, like, my son is still 9, but it's not really a lot of young kids anymore. So, it's kind of just kind of a thing to do. Lagoon says he can't join. He tried. Not sure what's going on there, man. Michael Altman says, Sim, what's the final record this season? Ooh, man. Oof. Ask me this again every couple of weeks to see if it changes. But today, I would say 7-9. I would say possibly a 7-9 and Tomlin's first losing season. And that's just how I feel today. I'm just going off of emotion. Debbie says they do it up in PA, Sam, up near the Poconos. Okay, bet. But yeah, they, with her family, it's always been in New York, so we just travel up there. Let's see what else y'all got. 1 or 2 more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Diggy says the problem with the Steelers is predictability and lack of adaptability. Gotta be like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah, because Floyd definitely had to adapt a couple times, right? I still always remember that fight against Shane Mosley when he got rocked a couple times. Yeah, he had to adapt against Madonna. He had to adapt a little bit against Cotto. Even Zab Judah. Sade says 7-9 is generous. I know it. My heart wouldn't let me give it worse than that, Sade. You know the Steelers gonna do just enough to keep us in that 20th something range in the draft. You know how they do. You know how they do. They not gonna give us anything before 15. You know how they are. All right, one more, man. Give me one more, and then I'm up out of here. Oh, really quick before I go, I can't get all the way into the details, but just to let you guys know.
90 seconds.
Log Talk is cutting us off, so let me go ahead and log out of that. Just to give y'all a very small update. Things have changed as far as what we're purchasing. We're still looking. Like I said, I won't get into the details, but we got to continue to look. So far, things are still going well with our property. So, it might be a situation where we have to go nestle up with father-in-law Leonard for a few weeks or so until, our next place will become available. But like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it. Nothing negative on our end. Just, where we were expecting to go. It's not happening now. So, yeah. I'll keep you guys informed. We're still in the market. I'll keep you guys informed. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Y'all know the routine, man. If you haven't already, boom. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, cut on your notifications. And also, y'all be safe. God bless. Good night. I thank you for tuning in. All of the good things, all of the above there. So, yeah, man, look, let's just enjoy this ride. And let's see what this ride takes us. And some people say they smell an upset. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But all right, man. Love you guys like always. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. More than likely, not a post-game show this week. Hopeful that I might be able to get a pre-game show. And if I do a pre-game show, I will stream so we can have that interaction since we're going to miss it on Sunday. But all right, y'all be good. Peace.